So what makes Revenger so strong? I've mentioned in the previous video that Revengers received a lot of hype in its initial release in Vanguard 0 and have also commended them for their strength. If you have played ranked matches recently, you've probably faced a Revenger deck at least once. In this video, we'll break down what makes the Revengers archetype so strong. It's the Red Capes. The Red Capes are intimidating as hell. Did you know that all of the Revengers wear red capes? Well, all except for one. Do you know who that is? I'll give you a clue. His name rhymes with Asbury. Well, kidding aside, Revengers are simply everything in one subclan. They can call units from the deck, retire, countercharge, and have their own standing Vanguard as a finisher. The end. Oh, you're still here. Well then, allow me to explain. The problem with the Phantom Blaster Overlord deck is that it costs too much for today's standards. It's still playable, but you need at least 2 counterblasts open, plus proper timing. Revenger solves this problem by having most of their counterblast cost at 1. They balance it out by having to restrict their effects and cost to their own subclan, but to be honest, it's not really a drawback at all. So far, there aren't a lot of Revengers in the set, so building a deck would be pretty much straightforward. It's only a matter of tech options. Some people like Nevan or Curse Lancer, some people do not. These are small decisions to make, but in every deck, they have the same core units. It's also fun to play because of the many things you can do with the deck and how easily it adapts to the game state. So let's start with our bread and butter, Blaster Dark Revenger and Barrier Troop Revenger Dorin. The Blaster engine is your win condition other than Raging Form. For virtually Counterblast 1, you can remove any rear guard, usually the front row. It allows for at least 2 attacks to the opponent's Vanguard during early to mid game. It also punishes the opponent for trying to rush. This ability is powerful because it is half the cost of most retire abilities, and it is also not restricted to chance nor any specific rows. In my opinion, you can win without Raging Form, but you cannot win without Blaster Dark and Dorin. As the game goes on, having this ability to remove intercepts for CB1 becomes more and more valuable. Because during the late game, you're already trying to win, so you must attack the Vanguard as often as you can to burn through the Sentinels. There is minimal setup for this combo as well. Tar2 can fetch your Dorins, Mordred Phantom can fetch your Blaster Dark Revenger. I do not recommend Claudas because the cost is too high. Any advantage you would generate by using the combo will be nullified by the cost of Claudas. So for me, it's not worth it. Dark Cloak Revenger Tar2 and Dark Bond Trumpeter. Your means to refill the field. Again, Tar2 is commonly used to set up Dorins. After that, she's just an intercept that your opponent should remove, opening the curtains for Blaster Dark Revenger. You can also chain by calling Dark Bond Trumpeter instead. When Dark Bond Trumpeter is placed on a rearguard circle, you can call 1 Grade 0 Revenger from outside the deck. This call chain is mostly used to feed Raging Form Dragon. We'll get to that later. For me, I'd like to splash in Skull Witch Nevan to add a little more draw power. Although she is not a Revenger, at 1 copy, she wouldn't make any difference to consistency. Raging Form Dragon, the embodiment of Rage himself, the secondary standard to not require any discards. More importantly, he has a super strong ability to create a persona by sacking 3 rear guards, making his limit break easier to pull off. Raging Form also goes over Crossride bonus because when he attacks, he gains additional 3000 power for free. His limit break, when he attacks, he gets a skill. Sacrifice 3 Revenger rear guards to ride 1 copy of Raging Form Dragon from your hand, with an additional 10,000 power. The only drawback for this effect is not having to be able to carry critical effects to the persona. But since you're running draws, I guess that's fine, right? In general, what makes the Revengers really scary is how consistent they can pull off their shenanigans. Their supporting units literally help each other out, and a complete deck is very unlikely to break. The usual tactic to fight against Revengers is control. Prevent the opponent from doing the Blaster Dark engine, and you're pretty much safe. However, if you play clans with no means of board control, such as Angel Feather, Oracle Think Tank, and Grand Blue, you're gonna have a pretty bad time. What you can do is pray that your opponent doesn't draw all his Sentinel and makes dead damage triggers. More support will be available for the Revengers in the coming months, so you'll see them in ranked games for a long time. Maybe long enough for you to build a Revenger deck yourself. I would heavily appreciate if you would like and subscribe. If you have feedback, please let me know. You can also check out other content I have uploaded. If you know someone from the Vanguard 0 team, please tell them nicely that I want Cheergirl Adelaide in Vanguard 0. And so do you. Hashtag I want Adelaide in 0. If there's a strategy or a card that I should review, please let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.